so hot. I think it makes my cat a bit horny.
This next one doesn't just tickle your fancy and just really touch that soul of a gourmand lover and tickle that sweet tooth or whatever. Happyland Signature. Remember when I mentioned that EJ was a fan of gourmands? I know he likes leather, I know he likes gourmands, and that's just by looking at the notes in these things and just smelling these fragrances. This one is, oh my God. Happyland Signature is a tobacco fragrance that's drizzled with honey, and you get the blueberries and apple pie. Oh my God, if you ain't hungry, you will be. This is one of those nights when you're just snuggled up with your girlfriend by the fire or a bonfire or something like that. It's definitely like a date night fragrance, or what, like cuddling Netflix kind of fragrance or whatever. There's just something, I don't know, really satisfying about this. Satisfying. That's the word I'm looking for. Amazing fragrance.
Yes, it's a fresh honey and blueberries. It's like you take a handful of blueberries and a tablespoon of honey and mix it together and put your nose in it. This is how it smells now. And it's beautiful, and it's very strong. It's really, really strong. You can see how shiny my wrist is. So I wouldn't recommend to overspray this fragrance. Don't do this. 3 sprays is enough. Yes, it's beautiful. And the crazy thing is that sometimes I got the apple cake in the opening already. And sometimes I got the tobacco in the opening already. But I don't get it now. So it's different again. Yes, the notes just float around and are here and there, and it's crazy. Okay, now I get some tobacco. And the tobacco I get now is a fruity, very soft tobacco. It's a very smooth, very soft, slightly fruity tobacco. It's not like the tobacco in Tobacco Vanille. It's different. It's very, very soft and kind of velvety smooth. It's great. I really like this step.
This is mind-blowing, and I don't want to advertise. I hate sounding like I'm advertising, but this fragrance is so uncloying. It's like so nice. I wore it to the gym, okay, on a hot summer day, and I did receive a compliment. And the woman said, "What are you wearing?" I said, "It doesn't matter. You've never heard of it, so it doesn't matter." She goes, "Oh, it smells delicious." I mean, I'm going to tell her Happyland Signature, and she's going to be like, "I never heard of it," and she probably won't find it. And at that time, there wasn't even a website for Happyland Signature, but now there is. This is Herod and Ojan, and it smells like the tobacco and the honey from each of those fragrances. You put them together, it's Happyland Signature. E.J. Wells is a former musician. He put this together. I feel like he's a genius when it comes to making fragrances. He sits up all night and, tries to put together, he's like a chemist, tries to put together a good fragrance. I know he compliments some of these clone houses, and I've actually contacted him and say, "EJ, man, they make crap. You're like 10 times better." I know he doesn't have the sales or the marketing. If you like Herod and you like Ojan, you put them together, it smells just like that. I wear it during the hot summer heat. It's just actually beautiful. And you can see the sprayer is pretty good. And I'm almost out. I've been using it. I haven't decanted or anything like that. I highly recommend Happyland Signature. It's a no-brainer. It's not too expensive. You could go to the Facebook group and get a discount code. I don't know, they probably change all the time, but this is a really good fragrance and I recommend it. All the people who've contacted me on Facebook, all the fragrances I recommended, they always tell me I make good recommendations. And it's not a clone because I don't really care for some of the fragrance clone companies. And I took those negative reviews down because I was just tired of it. You know, the negative comments, oh, it's good, it's good, it's good. This is good. And EJ needs to stop putting other people on a higher level than him because his fragrance is much better. Much, much better. And people know who I'm talking about. But his fragrances, he's like a master perfumer. He's a genius. He spends his time. He lets them macerate. Some companies don't let them macerate and just ships them out. He lets them macerate. So when you get this in the mail, you're going to get a finished product. I highly recommend Signature. Like I said, it's Herod and Ojan. The tobacco and the honey put together. It has a blueberry note with it and an apple pie note. I highly recommend it. You can't go wrong. It's better than other fragrances you could find on the market for $50. It's an EDP. It is so pure. Even Herod and Ojan are a little cloying. They aren't as pure as this. I like the purity of this, and EJ is going to go far. I know he needs some marketing to strategize, but the fragrance is awesome. It's completely a 10 out of 10.
And my favorite, and it's their signature scent. This is the Happyland Signature. Now, I'm a little biased because if you watch my videos, you know that I love tobacco. So it is a really nice, rich, smooth tobacco scent. Perfectly balanced. I get hints of sweet honey, and it's got light. And when I say light, it's detectable, but it wasn't. If you didn't tell me what the fruit notes were, I probably wouldn't have been able to guess. I would have guessed there was some type of fruit in it. But it's light blueberry. However, actually, I take that back. It has an apple pie, which I do detect the apple pie aroma. So it's almost like a nice, fresh cooked apple pie, not heavily sweet. So by no means is this like a really, gross sweet fragrance. The sweetness is nicely balanced with that tobacco, which is just perfect. So this is the Happyland Signature. This was my favorite by far. Love tobacco scents, and they really did a nice job making this a nice, rich, smooth tobacco. And then that sweet honey, not overly sweet, and then those little nuances, those little barely detectable of the blueberries, but that apple pie does kind of pop up because I sprayed it, and I'm like, that smells like apple pie. So that was a really nice additive to this fragrance. But if you're a big fan of tobacco like I am, you're gonna really dig this Happyland Signature for sure.
Today.
So like I said,
So the first one I want to share with y'all is probably one that is battling for number one. The first place for me, this other one that's fighting for number one is the last fragrance, so stick around to the end of the video. But this one, Happyland Signature, is a special fragrance. It is kind of like an interpretation. Real quick, if I was to give you an idea how this smelled, if you took Dolce & Gabbana the one, the EDT, with the ginger, with that soft, a little bit of that soft leather, you know how sweet that fragrance is, a little bit of that soft spicy, and you said, I want to make a more mature, more gourmand interpretation of that DNA. That's what you're getting here. There's a little bit of an animalic twist. Some people say this smells like blueberry pie. Some people say this smells kind of like an apple pie. For me, it's kind of like you got a blueberry scone and put that on top of an apple pie that maybe was a half day old. For some reason, they didn't eat it all, real quick. So that's what I'm getting here. There's a little bit of a gourmand nature. There's definitely that mature, kind of Tom Ford-esque vibe, mysterious, sultry, even being a really attractive fragrance, especially for you mature men out there.
It's now among the 5 best gourmand fragrances in my collection, and I can't be without it. And I'm really happy that I have this little bottle.